Welcome to this exciting session on circular business models, the future of smart and sustainable business. Imagine this, by 2030, there will be nearly 9 billion people on earth. More people means more demand for products, more resources used, and sadly, more wastage. But businesses are finding a better way. Today, we are diving into how companies are breaking the old take, make, and throw system and building smarter circular business models that reuse, recycle, and rethink everything they do. We will see real world examples from IKEA, Patagonia, and Uber and break down 5 powerful types of circular business models you need to know, made simple and easy. And here's the fun part. Stay tuned till the end for a quick challenge to test your understanding and boost your exam skills. Ready to see how smart businesses are shaping a smarter world? Let's get started. Let's set the stage with a simple fact. By 2030, the global population is expected to hit 9 billion people. With growing incomes and higher consumptions, businesses are facing a massive challenge. How do we meet this rising demand without exhausting our planet's resources? Most companies today follow what's called a linear business model. It's a simple take, make, and dispose system. Think about it. Raw materials are taken from the earth, used to make products, and once those products are no longer needed, they are tossed away as waste. This throwaway culture has contributed to overconsumption and waste generation on a massive scale. But here's where the concept of circular business models or CBMs comes in. Unlike the linear model, CBMs are all about sustainability and efficiency. Instead of throwing things away, these models aim to reuse, recycle, and regenerate resources, keeping materials in use for as long as possible. Think of it like this. Imagine a smartphone that gets refurbished instead of discarded, or a clothing brand that encourages customer to return old garments for recycling. That's a circular approach in action. And it's not just good for the planet, it makes great business sense too. Companies that adopt circular business models often reduce costs, build stronger customer loyalty, and enhance their brand reputation. So, are you ready to dive deeper into how CBMs work? Let's explore why they are becoming the future of sustainable business. Now that we know why sustainability is becoming crucial, let's take a closer look at the traditional way of doing business, the linear business model. A linear business model is what most companies have used for decades. It's built on a simple idea. Take resources from the environment, make products using those resources, dispose them off once they are used. Sounds familiar, right? That's because we encounter it every single day. From the coffee cup you toss away in the morning to the plastic water bottle you use once and forget. It's all part of the linear model. These businesses are often focused on short-term profits. Why? Because it's cheap and convenient to produce items that are designed for single use. And even though this boosts revenue quickly, the long-term impact is damaging. Another key feature of linear models is planned obsolescence. Ever wonder why your smartphone starts acting up just a couple of years after buying it? Or why a washing machine breaks down right after its warranty expires? That's not a coincidence. Some companies intentionally design products with a limited lifespan to keep you buying replacements. It's a strategy to maximize sales, but at a massive environmental cost. Let's think of some examples. Fast fashion brands that release new clothing collections every few weeks, encouraging constant purchases. Disposable packaging like plastic cutlery and takeaway containers used once and discarded, plastic water bottles that clutter landfills and oceans despite having alternatives like reusable bottles. But the good news is there is a better way. Businesses are waking up to the drawbacks of linear models and are now shifting towards circular business models. Stay with me as we explore how companies are breaking free from the take, make, dispose cycle and leading the way to a more sustainable future. And don't forget, there's a test at the end of this video to see how much you have learned. So keep those examples in mind. Alright, let's dive deeper into one of the most controversial strategies used in linear business models, something called planned obsolescence. But what exactly is it? Planned obsolescence is when companies intentionally design products to have a short lifespan. Instead of making products that last, they build items that will break down, become outdated, or lose efficiency much sooner than necessary. And why would they do that? Simple, it's good for business. When your product fails early or feels outdated, what do? You buy a new one, and that means repeat purchases for the company. It's a strategy to keep sales flowing and profits growing. Think about it. Ever noticed how smartphones seem to slow down right when the latest model is released? Yep, that's planned obsolescence. Your kitchen appliances like blenders and microwaves are often built with parts that wear out quickly, making repairs more expensive than buying a new one. Even electronics like TVs or laptops may become incompatible with new software updates, pushing you to upgrade. It's frustrating, right? And it's not just bad for your wallet, it is more terrible for the environment. Tons of waste pile up in landfills, and precious resources are used to produce more and more unnecessary products. But here's the silver lining. Companies are starting to rethink this model. Through circular business models, businesses are exploring ways to extend product lifespan by offering repair services, reusable components, or even product upgrades without replacing the entire thing. Stay tuned because we'll cover how this shift is transforming industries, and remember, there's a test at the end to see how much you have picked up. So keep watching and let's break free from the buy, break, replace, recycle. Now that we have seen the flaws of linear business models with their take, make, dispose approach, let's talk about the smarter, more sustainable alternative circular business models or CBMs. So what are circular business models all about? Unlike traditional models, CBMs aim to reduce waste and make the most out of every resource. They follow the principles of reuse, using products multiple times instead of throwing them away; repair, fixing items to extend their lifespan; remanufacture, restoring old products to like new condition; recycle, transforming waste materials into new products. Think of it as giving products a second, third, or even fourth life instead of sending them straight to the landfill. It's like a circular loop, keeping materials in use for as long as possible. But here's the best part. CBMs don't just benefit the environment, they are also good for businesses. Companies save money by using fewer raw materials. They attract eco-conscious consumers who value sustainability. And by offering repair, resale, or rental services, they create new revenue streams. A perfect example, Patagonia offers its worn wear program where customers can return their used clothes for repairs, resale, or recycling, reducing waste and boosting brand loyalty. So instead of planned obsolescence, circular models promote planned longevity, and it's a win-win. Businesses remain profitable, while supporting a healthier planet. Stick with me because up next we'll explore the 5 main types of circular business models you need to know, and remember there's a test at the end, so stay sharp. To get a clearer picture of circular business models, let's look at how the Organizations for Economic Cooperation and Development (OECD) defines them. According to OECD, CBMs are not just about reducing waste, they are frameworks that help businesses shift towards a more resource efficient and sustainable economy. In simple words, CBMs are like a game changer for businesses. They challenge companies to rethink how they produce, use, and dispose of products. Rather than relying on a take, make, throw approach, they encourage businesses to maximize the value of resources and minimize harm to the environment. And why is this important? Because traditional businesses practices are a major cause of environmental problems, from resource depletion to climate change. CBMs are designed to reduce that environmental pressure while still supporting business growth. For example, instead of using single-use plastics or depending on non-renewable resources, businesses can switch to recyclable materials or offer repair services. This shift not only reduces waste but also conserves natural resources for future generations. So remember, CBMs are not just about being eco-friendly, they offer a smarter way to operate, balancing profitability with planet preservation. Coming up next, we'll break down the 5 key types of circular business models with real world examples, and don't forget there's a test at the end, so stay focused. Now that we know what circular business models are, let's dive into the 5 key types that businesses use to become more sustainable. The OECD outlines these models, and trust me, understanding these will help you see how companies are shifting from wasteful practices to smart, sustainable ones. And guess what? By the end of this, you will be spotting these models in action all around you. Here they are. First, circular supply models. Think of this as a business choosing to replace scarce resources with renewable, recyclable, or biodegradable materials. It's like switching from plastic packaging to compostable materials, better for the planet and a responsible choice for companies. Resource recovery models. Ever wondered where your recycled cans go? Businesses using this model focus on recycling waste and turning it into valuable resources. For example, some fashion brands now make clothes from recycled plastic bottles. Product life extension models. Instead of making products that break easily and end up in landfills, this model encourages companies to repair, refurbish, or remanufacture products. Think of it like giving your old smartphone a second life instead of throwing it away. Sharing models. Why buy when you can share? Companies using sharing models promote collaborative consumption. Think Airbnb, Uber, and bike sharing apps. They reduce the need for constant production by letting people share resources. Fifth, product service system models. This is where companies offer access to a service instead of selling a product. Take Spotify or Netflix for example. You don't buy the music or movies, you subscribe. Even car companies are getting on board, offering subscription based car services. Now that you have the 5 types of CBMs, think about how these models are making a real impact. You will be surprised how often businesses around you are using these strategies without you even realizing it. Stick around because up next we'll explore real world examples of these models in action. And remember, there's a short quiz at the end to test your knowledge, so keep these notes handy. Alright, let's start with the first type of circular business model, circular supply models. Think of this as businesses making smarter choices about where their materials come from. Instead of relying on resources that are scarce or harmful to the environment, companies use materials that are renewable, recyclable, or biodegradable. Imagine a farmer using leftover agricultural waste like corn husks or sugarcane pulp to generate biofuel. Not only does this reduce waste, but it also provides a clean energy source. Similarly, companies might switch from plastic packaging to plant-based biodegradable materials, which naturally breaks down without polluting the planet. But it's not just about the environment. Using renewable resources can also reduce production cost in the long run. It's a win-win. And here's a fun fact. Some fashion brands are even making clothes out of recycled plastic bottles. That's circular supply in action. So the key takeaway, circular supply models help businesses reduce their dependency on non-renewable resources and minimize waste, making operations both sustainable and cost effective. Keep watching because next up we will explore how businesses recover and reuse materials in the resource recovery models. And trust me, it is fascinating. Next up, we have resource recovery models. And this one's all about turning trash into treasure. Instead of dumping waste into overflowing landfills or polluting our environment, businesses using resource recovery models find innovative ways to recycle and reuse materials. It's like giving products a second life. A perfect example, IKEA's buyback initiative. Imagine this. Instead of throwing away your old IKEA furniture, you can sell it back to them. They will refurbish it, resell it at a lower price, and reduce waste in the process. It's a brilliant way to keep resources in the loop. And the impact, less waste, fewer raw materials used, and a lower carbon footprint. In fact, the OECD reports that using recycled materials instead of extracting new ones can cut greenhouse gas emissions by up to 90%. But it's not just furniture. Think about all those plastic bottles, glass jars, or aluminum cans. Companies can break them down and turn them into brand new products. It's both eco-friendly and cost-effective. So the big takeaway, resource recovery models are a powerful way for businesses to minimize waste, reduce production costs, and protect the environment. Stay with me. Up next, we'll look at how companies are making their products last longer using product life extension models. Trust me, you won't want to miss this one. Now, let's talk about a smart and sustainable way businesses are cutting down on waste. Product life extension model. The idea is simple. Why throw something away when you can repair, refurbish, or even renovate it? These models focus on making products last longer, reducing the need for constantly manufacturing new ones. It's a win-win. Less waste for the planet and lower costs for consumers. A fantastic example is Patagonia's Worn Wear program. Patagonia isn't just selling outdoor clothing, they are encouraging customers to trade in their used clothes for repairs or store credit. Then the company refurbishes those items and resells them at a lower price. It's not just sustainable, it's smart business. Think about it. When customers know a brand supports product longevity, it builds trust and loyalty. And at the same time, it reduces the demand for new resources and lowers carbon emissions. This model can apply to more than just clothes. From smartphones to furniture and even cars, companies around the world are exploring ways to extend the life of their products. In fact, some brands now offer repair services and certified refurbished products, making sustainable accessible to all. So the key takeaway, product life extension models are all about durability, circularity and sustainability. They not only help the environment but also offer companies a unique competitive edge. Next, we'll dive into something just as fascinating, how businesses are encouraging consumers to share instead of own with sharing models. You won't want to miss it. Now let's talk about a business model that's changing how we consume products, sharing models. Instead of everyone owning their own cars, tools, or even vacation homes, sharing models promote the idea of access over ownership. Businesses provide platforms where consumers can rent or share products instead of buying them and It's not just about saving money, it's about resource optimization. Think about it. Why produce thousands of new products when the ones we already have can be used more efficiently? This reduces waste, cuts down on emissions, and lowers production costs. Take Airbnb for example. It allows homeowners to rent out their unused spaces, giving travelers more affordable options while minimizing the need for new hotels. Then there is Uber and Zipcar. Instead of owning a car that sits idle 90% of the time, you can rent one only when you need it. And guess what? Businesses win too. They earn revenue without the burden of producing the maintaining vast inventories. Plus, they attract consumers who are increasingly leaning towards sustainable choices. So next time you book a ride or a weekend getaway through a sharing platform, remember you are not just saving money, you are supporting a more circular and sustainable economy. Up next, we'll explore a fascinating model that shifts the focus from products to services, product service system models. Stay tuned. Now let's dive into another brilliant concept in circular business models, product service system models or PSS models for short. Instead of selling products outright, companies offer services that meet your needs without the need for ownership. This means less material consumption, fewer resources used, and a more sustainable business approach. Think about how we consume music and movies today. Gone are those days of buying CDs, DVDs, or even digital downloads. Platforms like Spotify and Netflix give you access to millions of songs and shows without creating mountains of plastic waste. You pay for the service, not the product. And this means companies can operate without producing unnecessary physical goods. Another example, cloud computing. Services like Google Drive and Dropbox eliminate the need for physical hard drives or large servers in homes. Your data is stored securely in the cloud, reducing the production of storage devices and the energy used to maintain them. And for companies like Michelin, they have even applied the model to tires. Instead of selling tires to commercial fleets, Michelin offers tires as a service subscription where companies pay based on how many miles the vehicles drive. This encourages longer lasting durable tires and reduces waste. Why does this matter? Fewer materials are consumed. Products are designed for longevity and repairs. Companies are incentivized to make products that last longer and perform better. So the next time you stream your favorite show or store files in the cloud, remember you're supporting a circular economy without even realizing it. Up next, we'll recap the key advantages of circular business models and how they are shaping a more sustainable future. Stay tuned. Now that we have explored the different types of circular business models, let's talk about why they are a game changer for businesses and the planet. First up, environmental protection. CBMs are designed to reduce waste, emissions, and pollution. Instead of sending products to landfills, businesses reuse and recycle materials. Imagine a world where discarded plastics becoming building materials. That's CBMs in action. Next we have resource preservation. Resources like water, minerals and fossil fuels are limited. CBMs encourage companies to use renewable materials and minimize waste. Think about companies using agricultural waste or biofuel instead of depleting natural resources. Cost savings in the long run. While shifting to a circular model may seem costly initially, businesses often save significantly over time. Fewer raw materials, lower waste disposal cost, and optimized supply chains lead to higher profitability in the long term. Then there's the power of an improved brand image and CSR, corporate social responsibility. Consumers are becoming more eco-conscious. Companies that implement sustainable practices build trust and loyalty. Brands like Patagonia and IKEA are celebrated for their environmental efforts, and that's a powerful selling point. Finally, attracting investors and customers. Did you know many investors are now choosing to support companies with sustainable business models? Adopting CBMs signals a commitment to long-term growth and ethical operations, which can boost a company's appeal to both investors and customers. So why wouldn't a business switch to a circular business model? With the right strategy, companies can protect the planet, save money, build stronger brands, and attract more customers. And that's a win-win for everyone. Coming up next, let's look at some of the challenges businesses may face when adopting CBMs. Stick around and don't forget there's a test at the end to check how much you have learned. While circular business models (CBMs) offer amazing benefits, it's important to acknowledge the challenges businesses might face when adopting them. Let's break down some of the key limitations. First, there's the issue of high initial investment. Transitioning to a circular model often requires a significant upfront cost. Companies might need to redesign products for durability, invest in recycling facilities, or build new logistic systems. For smaller businesses, this can be a real financial strain. Next, we have complex supply chains. Unlike the linear model, CBMs involve more reverse logistics, meaning products and materials flow backwards for reuse, recycling, or repair. Coordinating this across multiple regions can be complicated, especially without the right infrastructure. Another major challenge is resistance to change. Let's face it, change is hard. Employees, suppliers, and even customers may be hesitant to shift away from traditional, comfortable methods. Businesses need to invest in training and build a culture that embraces sustainability. Clear communication and incentives can go a long way here. Finally, there's the consumer perception of higher prices. Sustainable products often come with a premium price tag due to ethical sourcing, responsible production, or product durability. While some consumers are willing to pay more for eco-friendly products, others may prioritize cost. It's crucial for businesses to educate consumers on the long-term value and environmental impact of circular models. But here's the good news. Many companies successfully overcome these challenges with innovation and dedication. Governments are also stepping in with incentives and regulations to support the transition to a circular economy. So, are the benefits worth the effort? That's a question. Businesses must evaluate balancing profits, people, and the planet. Stay with me. Next up, we'll wrap things up with key takeaways, and don't forget to test your knowledge at the end of this video. Now that we understand the concept of circular business models, let's see how some major companies are taking them a reality. First up, we have Patagonia. Known for its commitment to sustainability, Patagonia has implemented its Worn Wear program. Instead of encouraging customers to throw away old clothing, they promote repairing, reselling, and reusing it. Not only does this extend the life cycle of their products, but it also builds brand loyalty by showing customers that Patagonia cares about the planet. It's a perfect example of a product life extension model in action. Next, there's IKEA. Have you ever wondered what happens to old furniture? IKEA's buyback program is a great solution. Customers can return their used furniture, which IKEA then refurbishes and resells. This reduces waste and minimizes the need for new raw materials. It's a brilliant application of the resource recovery model, turning waste into valuable resources. And finally, we have Uber and Zipcar. Instead of owning cars, many people today share vehicles. Through these platforms, by using the sharing model, Uber and Zipcar reduce the number of vehicles on the road, cutting emissions and minimizing resource consumption. This approach also supports urban areas with limited parking and congestion issues. It's a win-win for both businesses and the environment. These companies prove that profitability and sustainability can go hand in hand. And remember, when companies adopt circular models, they aren't just reducing waste, they are creating value for their customers, building a positive brand image, and contributing to a greener future. Up next, we'll recap the key takeaways and don't forget to check out the test at the end to see how much you have learned. Stay with me. We have now explored the powerful concept of circular business model and how they are reshaping the way companies operate. To wrap it up, let's reflect on why CBMs are not just a trend, they are a necessity. Sustainable growth. Businesses that shift from a take, make, dispose approach to a circular model are contributing to a sustainable future. With the world facing resource depletion and environmental challenges, CBMs provide a smart, responsible way forward, balancing profit, people, and planet. The most successful businesses today are the ones that understand that it's not just about making money, they strive for a triple bottom line, ensuring profitability while making a positive impact on people and the planet. CBMs help achieve this balance by reducing waste, conserving resources, and improving operational efficiency. Competitive advantage and brand perception. Consumers are becoming more conscious of where they shop and what they buy. Companies that embrace CBMs can enhance the brand image and build strong customer loyalty. In fact, many investors and stakeholders prefer supporting businesses that demonstrate long-term sustainability. It's a clear edge in today's competitive market. So whether it is through repair programs like Patagonia's resource recovery initiatives like IKEA or sharing models like Uber, companies that adopt CBMs are future proofing their businesses. And that's the beauty of it. Profit and purpose can go hand in hand. Stay tuned because coming up next is the quick test to check your understanding of circular business model. Let's see how much you have learned. That brings us to the end of our deep dive into circular business models, a game changer for sustainable business growth. But don't stop here. Like this video if you found it helpful. It really supports the channel and helps others discover valuable content just like this. Subscribe for more insightful business lessons and strategies. We'll keep exploring fascinating business concepts, tools, and case studies to help you ace your IBDP Cambridge Business Management Studies. And of course, share your thoughts in the comments below. Have you noticed any businesses around you applying circular business models? Maybe your favorite clothing brand has a repair or resale program, or perhaps you have come across a local sharing service like Zipcar or Airbnb. Let's start a conversation. I did love to hear your insights, and guess what? There's a quick test waiting for you in the description to check your understanding of circular business models. Challenge yourself and see how much you have learned. Thanks so much for watching. Keep learning, keep growing, and I'll see you in the next video.